This is HYPIXEL Skyblock, the largest MMORPG in all of Minecraft with an average of 20,000 active players at any given time. The game has a wide variety of activities including fishing, defeating custom bosses, and becoming anti-team cheez. However, since the game has no instruction, it leads to confusion for new people. So in this video, I'll be giving you a general idea of what Skyblock is, and at the very end, I'll answer the question, should you play it? But before I continue, I must inform you that I'm in a sub race against this dude for 10k subs. Currently, I'm winning by a little bit, but you never know when he'll catch up. Back on track. HYPIXEL Skyblock is a little different from your normal Skyblock gameplay. Unlike having to carefully maneuver your island, you can just type /hub to be teleported to one of many islands. The hub is a central island which holds most of the important structures, such as the auction house, where you can auction and buy stuff, the bank, and most importantly, Rosetta's workshop. Essentially everything you do here grants skill XP, which is used to level up one of the 12 skills. Each time you level up a skill, you gain a few stats like strength or health. For example, each farming level gives 2 to 5 health per level. Whoa, you must be farming level 4000 then! I forgot to mention, each skill only goes up to level 50 and occasionally level 60, meaning to get those big funny numbers, you need to do all of them. But do you know what's not funny? How long it takes to get each skill maxed. So that's why Simon made minions. Minions are workers that collect a ton of stuff including XP for you. Isn't that just forced labor? Shh, you can't say that here. There's one minion for essentially everything. For example, there are carrot minions, fishing minions, and even a minion for blending up vampires. But in order to craft these cool minions, you need a certain level of the respective collection. Collections are basically collecting things. It's that simple. Mine a block of oak wood, gain 1 oak collection.
Okay, I get the idea, but how do I get slime collection for them cool slime bow? I've been walking around the hub for 2 years and I can't find any slimes.
Well, good sir watching this video, you have to travel to other islands where slimes actually spawn. There are 13 other islands, some of them being connected. To the left of the spawn, you are greeted by the park. In the park, there are all types of wood along with the howling caves, but no point in being here when you just start. Or anytime really. Anyways, moving left to the park entrance, you'll be warped to the spider's den, which then leads to the end and the Crimson Island. The spider's den is filled with different types of spiders, which early on is a great way to leveling up combat. Oh yeah, and here's a little tip. If you don't have a pet unlocked yet, you can go to this hill over here and claim a free grandma pet. At the top of the island, you reach the end island teleporter. Once you finally get into the end, you'll be greeted by tall men that casually one-shot you. There's a lot of content here, but I won't really cover it because it's not really that beginner. So moving on to the next main part of Skyblock. Mining. By going straight from spawn, you come to the coal mines. I'm not seeing any coal. Bro. The coal mines are basically a place to get mining level 1, so that you can move into the gold mines where you essentially do the same thing but for mining level 5, so that you can go into the deep caverns where you again do the same thing until mining level 12. But hey, at least there's more diversity here. Instead of mining in peace, you now have 6 different mobs that basically one-shot you. But that's not all. And after you give this NPC, who is chilling at the bottom of the deep caverns, 50 enchanted ore of any type, he will grant you access to the Dwarven Mines. The Dwarven Mines is one of the largest islands in the whole game. This is where the mining fun starts. Instead of aimlessly mining to reach the next level, you are tasked with these fun commissions that require you to do a range of tasks. From mining mithril, the blue stuff, to game-ending NPCs wearing ice blocks on their heads. Each commission rewards you with some mining XP, mithril powder, which I will explain in a second, and most importantly, Heart of the Mountain XP. Heart of the Mountain is a mining skill tree, which grants massive buffs. I mean, without it, mining would be long dead. This skill tree grants primarily everything, so get this as high level as you can. On top of having to level up Heart of the Mountain, you also need mithril and gemstone powder to level up said perks. But you don't need to worry about that. Yet. Once you reach Heart of the Mountain 4, you unlock the Crystal Hollows, which basically is where all the money is at. If you walk around, you can see that there are 5 different biomes which connect at the central area called the Crystal Nucleus. In each area, there are different types of gemstones, along with unique mobs and structures. The Crystal Hollows has similar commissions to the ones in the Dwarven Mines, with the only exception being that they give a lot more everything, even more emotional damage. I highly suggest rushing mining the second you join Skyblock, since it is probably one of the best money making methods in the whole game. Moving on to the farming islands, which are located at the right front side of the hub. The first of the farming islands is the barn. This place has some crops and some animals. I don't really know what to say. Just get farming 12 here and never come back here again. The next island is basically the same thing, but if you're wondering where you do the farming, you need to reach Skyblock level 5, which will unlock your garden. The garden is where the gardening starts. Get it? Gardening? In this place, you unlock a new stat called Farming Fortune. It simply multiplies the amount of crops you drop depending on how much farming fortune you have. Inside the garden, you own many plots that you can convert into fields of crops. Anyways, those are the main islands apart from the Crimson Island, Glacier Tunnels, Jerry's Island, Dungeon Hub, and the Rift. I'm not going to explain what those— Ooh, what's the Rift? It looks fun. If you're one of those players that can't stand to do anything else than PvP, then the dungeons is the perfect place for you. You got 7 cool bosses, along with some cool loot that I've definitely dropped before, but that's besides the point. Each dungeon is a randomly arranged combination of rooms, each brimming with mobs. Before you fight the boss, you'll need to locate and clear the blood room, which is red on the map. In floor 1, you fight a clown that dies of cringe, and comes back only to be cringified again. Floor 2 has a dude called Scarf, and now he's dead. Floor 3, on the other hand, has 3 people: the Professor, Bob, George, Bobber, and Bobette. This boss fight is split into 3 different phases. For phase 1, you have to endgame the 4 Guardians. In phase 2, deal a few million damage to the Professor. And in phase 3, when all 5 of them merge into whatever this is, dispose of them. But mystic, how do you do 1 million damage? I'm stuck at dealing 1 damage per year. Well, dear whoever you are, you need higher dungeon level, which you can get by just playing dungeons. And while we're off topic, at the end of each dungeon, you get a varying amount of loot. From floor 4 to 7, there are 6 possible chests that you can claim. What do I mean by possible? Good question, I don't really know. In all seriousness, the amount of dungeon score you get each run determines how many chests spawn. At 270 score, the obsidian chest spawns, and at 300 score, the bedrock chest. Dungeon score is gained by clearing all rooms or getting secrets. If you're wondering what secrets are, they're basically hidden chests, items, or flying bats. Yeah. Where was I before I started talking about dungeon score? Oh yeah, the sponsor of today's video is the grass from outside. Grass from outside is naturally produced basically everywhere. Floor 4. Yes, the dungeon floor with no one playing it. Have you seen this boss fight? It's basically the end of the world. You got cows that do big damage, rabbits that kick you into the air, and even chickens that summon lightning. Next thing you know, there'll be sheep that implode. Oh, on top of all of that, the main boss Thorn can only be shot from the spear bow that only drops from the bear. Fun floor though. Floor 5's boss is Livid, who is among these clones. This floor is the goodest one so far, since there's better loot, and it's a lot faster. And you know what they say about time? Time is money. So this floor makes money. Squared. Moving on, floor 6 is where things get hard. In this boss fight, there are waves of terracotta things that one-shot you, sleeping golems that also one-shot you, and also big golem. 10 out of 10 stars. Finally, we're at floor 7. This is where all the big money is at, like the 4 big drops that sell for well over 200 million Muna. But of course, HYPIXEL will not let anyone have that many coins with an easy boss fight. Yeah, this floor has 4 phases, each with its own challenges, but because of time constraints, I will have to move on. If you somehow find that dungeons isn't enough combat, there are also these things called Slayers. There are 6 different types of Slayers: Revenants, Tarantulas, Svens, Void Glooms, Demon Lord, and the Rift Stalker, each having unique abilities and combat styles. Each boss has 4 to 5 levels of difficulty. To spawn the boss, you'll need to defeat a certain amount of the respective mobs. For example, Revenants require you to kill a few zombies, and Tarantulas require a few spiders to spawn the boss. I'll give you a quick overview for each boss. Tier 1 to 4 Revenants and Tarantulas are extremely easy since they both have no health and do no damage. But Tier 5 Revenants on the other hand is much harder since it constantly spawns TNT that do big damage and heals like over 100,000 health per second. The Tier 1 to 4 Sven is also very easy except that you cannot use magic damage against them and they pierce through defense. Void Glooms are hard. The Tier 1 Void Gloom does 3 times the amount of damage as a Tier 4 zombie, and that's just for Tier 1. Let me see what the Tier 4 does. 21,000 damage per second, and it has a cool 210 million health. The Inferno Demon Lord is a bit harder than Void Glooms, but I can't really say anything about it because it's that hard. I haven't even done a Tier 2, and the setup for this boss costs around like 3 livers. And each human only has 1. Slayers make a ton of coins, so if you like PvP and are very lucky, then it might be a good money making method. And that's basically a Skyblock in a nutshell. Fun, excellent for spending free time, costs no money, time consuming and addicting. With those descriptions, you can already tell what I'll say for about should you play Skyblock? In short, I would say yes, do play Skyblock, but don't, cause once you start playing Skyblock, you won't be able to leave. Ever. But yet again, I would say play Skyblock. Really, it's your choice though. I'd say don't get addicted to this. It'll take your brain, heart, soul, leg, arm, and even your hair. And that's another episode of Yummy Dino Buddies taking over the world. If you enjoyed, smash that like button harder than you slap the table after you lose Bedwars for the 100th time. And yeah, bye bye until the next time. Or hi if you click the next video.